Welcome to Gridcenter. I'm your host Shane Falco along with Big D. We're back together again. Here to bring you the Big 12 playoff preview. A couple of good matchups. A lot of teams had to work hard to get to this point, so they've been in playoff mode for a couple weeks now. Some teams, struggling, limping in. Perhaps maybe your team.
Perhaps.
We'll see. I know the last time your team went 5-5 in the Big 12, you came away with an entire league championship, so that could be another thing. We'll see how that develops here in the next couple of weeks, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, let's get to the matchup, shall we? First off, we'll just name the matchups and then we'll break them down. So we're going to start with the 1 versus 4, which will be Zebras and the aforementioned body count. And then the 2 versus 3, which will be the Force against Empire. So they've been battling the last couple weeks, had to get some help. They got the help. Some teams fell apart at the end and allowed them to get in. So they are coming in probably as the hottest team right now. I'm sure if the commissioner were on camera, he'd just be nothing but smiling and gloating and whatnot. So let's break them down, shall we? Which game you want to start with?
We'll go with the number 1 and 4.
All right, let's go with the number 1 and 4. So, I have to feel a little happy about this because at the beginning of the season, I had said my dark horse surprise team in this conference was going to be the Zebras, and I gave them a little love. Was one of the only teams to support them at the beginning, and who's the number 1 seed?
Oh, that would be the Zebras.
That would be the Zebras, so I'm pretty happy about that. Body count could come out and bitch slap them all up and down the field on that game, and then they can be out.
It wouldn't matter, but you got your prediction right. So
I was happy about that. I will say. I didn't know they were going to be the number 1 seed, but I had them getting in. But I'm happy about that. So, we know what they're going to do. They're going to come out. They're going to run some different stuff. They're going to go spread. They're going to go conventional. They're going to try a couple little gimmicky stuff. We'll see what happens. You know how they're going to do. They're going to obviously have 11 people on the field because they're going to get some referee calls. You know that. They're going to get the benefit of the doubt on a couple of calls.
I didn't say that, but
They're gonna talk a little bit. They're gonna chatter. Preston and his little "Where's Waldo" beanie cap.
They're gonna talk a lot.
We're gonna be out there talking, so we'll see how that goes. Give me the body count angle.
Well, I'm gonna start off with the Zebras first, and then I'll give you the body count. The Zebras, it's a really hard team to figure out because they get young, they get old, depending on the situation. They go spread, they go conventional. And they do a lot of things, and they do them well, obviously, because they have the number 1 seed. Really can't say anything bad. Preston, Dion put together a nice core of athletes, and hats off to them. I'm personally going to say hats off to them during the playoffs and doing what they did. It was huge, and it's playoff time. If they can ride that, I don't see them losing. If they can keep the same ingredient, they should be able to just coast through everybody. Body count, on the other hand, it is what it is. It's a bunch of guys who's been together for years, a couple of add-ons here and there. They run the ball, screen, they do a lot of stuff. It's their mindset. Is body count going to show up, or are they going to just ride on the ghost of championships past? It's not a day and age or league that you can just show up and thinking that somebody's going to give you a trophy.
As evidence in the SEC
Exactly.
season.
So we'll see what happens. If they play ball, any 4 teams that are in the playoffs in the Big 12 can win the whole thing.
I totally agree with you.
Can win it.
I totally agree with you.
It's just who's going to show up, who's going to adjust faster, who's going to make plays. That's what it's all about.
That's absolutely what it's all about. You can come in there as the coldest team, but you get hot that day. That's all it takes. Get hot that day and you're a champion. You don't necessarily have to be the best team, you just have to be the hottest team. Generally, you'll be the best team. As long as you're the best team that day, who cares? You're champions.
Exactly.
So we'll go to the number 2-3 matchup. It'll be a replay of this Week 10 that just passed with the Force and Empire. Empire needed a win badly to get in, and they needed some help. They knew going into the game that if they were going to be in or out with a win. And
what was the final score of that game?
I believe it was 13-7, if I'm not mistaken.
13-7.
13-7, 13-6.
In a nutshell, you know, people can pave your way into what you do. Like I said, wasted talent, had the opportunity to get these guys going,
They
and
did.
they didn't take advantage of it.
They did not.
I'm not even gonna waste too much time talking about wasted talent, because this is a playoff edition, we shouldn't be talking about it. Once Empire found out that they lost, it was all business. They came in, they did what they had to do, they packed up and left.
I also believe after that the MVP was already decided in this conference. Just my personal opinion.
I say right now, give him the trophy. Normally MVPs, offensive.
I know you have an opinion on this.
I do have
I know
an
you have an
opinion
opinion on this.
And with the exception of one individual, who's Click from TMT, is the only athlete in our division who won the MVP and actually won a championship. So hey, I suggest you should crown Disco, crown Josh, crown Hosama bin Light Skin, whatever the hell his name is. And we'll leave it at that, because it's already determined that I think the Warriors and GBA will win their conference respectively. But those other guys, give them the MVP trophy. You know, personally, if you ask me, if I had Disco here, I would ask him, hey, if you had a chance to trade in your 2 MVP, league MVPs for a championship, SEC or A division championship, you think you would trade in for?
I know, it's a bad example. You know, Disco likes his stats and he likes his awards.
He's a prima donna. He's a fucking prima donna. But would he do it? Yes, he would.
Probably, most likely.
Yeah, he would.
So, any predictions on these games?
I'm gonna stick to my guns. No. No predictions whatsoever.
Well, I'm gonna have a couple. I'll go ahead and run the tree for you here.
All right, go ahead.
We'll do a little, we'll run the gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
Force and Empire. I mean, Force is just absolutely reeling right now. I mean, I think they're reeling so bad. I heard from a little birdie that they're not even gonna play in the tournament this weekend. They just need some time for self-reflection and something else. I have no clue what's going on there. But I mean, Coach O's gonna need a new clipboard. Probably maybe get a looser polo and figure some shit out, because something's not working, something's not happy, something's not clicking. And honestly, I don't think they're gonna have an answer for Josh.
Well, I'd seen them after the game in Empire, and they huddled up. It wasn't a happy huddle.
I'm sure.
You know, a team that knows how to win and lose, you could tell them that they just don't have it.
Right.
And I would like to see a good game, and I'm not going to make any predictions, but if they don't come out with both barrels blazing, it could get ugly quick.
I think they're going to give max effort, but I don't think they're going to be able to match the Empire. I just don't. I don't see it. And then Zebra's body count. I mean, how can I not ride my team? I'm going to go with the Zebras, but it's not going to be easy. I know body count knows how to be a champion, so we'll see how it's going to be. I mean, I know body count's made some appearances on the forum, whether they're in good-natured fun or just all-out aggression. They're ready to play. Finally, I think after 10 weeks, you guys might be ready to play.
And it took people to write something on the board to realize that we're ready to play?
I guess so. I don't know.
I don't know either.
We'll see. I've seen people on the board from body count that haven't been on all season, so I guess their mind's on football now. So we'll see how it goes.
I guess so.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us here for the Big 12 playoff preview. We wish everybody good luck. You included there, Big D, in your games. And we'll see you on the fields.